98.5 FM. Oluyole 98.5 FM. 98.5 FM.
Oh yes, I will never fail. We shall never fail you. We're back after the poetry from Oluyole FM 98.5. Actually, we started the day with a program of Baba Shebi about Seed of Christ. Thereafter, Comfort Life Vision and other religious sponsored program. Whereby next Thursday, they will be available for you again. Well, this is your number one radio station, Oluyole FM 98.5. Any society where rule of law is not operational, everyone takes to the jungle. People, good morning. You look somehow this morning. What is happening? No kunkushi?
Yes, good morning.
Good.
Yes, we just thank God. At least we are alive.
We are alive, okay. Yesterday we heard about bandits strikes again at Kogi State.
Yes, we are two vice principal and two others were
killed. And then again we hear this one says there's 7 students injured as armed robbers attack female hostel in Ebonyi. These are armed robbers. But the provost of the school says no students were missing, but the armed robbers cast away cash, phone, ATM cards. All in Nigeria. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. Let's pray for our government to see what they can do about these bandits and armed robbers and what is going on in the state. Well, this is Oluyole FM 98.5. It is time for conversation this morning. Conversation.
Yes, it's another edition of Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 right here in the city of Ibadan. A program, like you know, gives you headlines. We bring you headlines making the rounds in the newspapers from across the country and beyond the shores of the country, and we making our own views and opinions known. Yes, and of course, giving you the opportunity to contribute to our little talk shop via the phone lines when the time comes. The views and opinions are not the views of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, but our own personal views and opinions here on any story that we dish out to you on the program Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 right here in the city of Ibadan. Of course, we are networking with Okeogun 96.3 FM, yes, and of course Agility 92.1 FM in Ubumosho. And of course, you can check us up on Facebook. You meet us there, bcus.tv, and live stream on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Bimbo Akombi is my name, and of course, yes, Tola is still coming in with more news, and yes, I have some headlines here briefly before we go to the main, the core stories of the day. And I have some headlines here. Terrorists kill vice principal, 2 others in Kogi. Edo shuts schools. Well, that means these terrorists are everywhere in Nigeria. Everywhere in Nigeria. And school closures spread after fresh bandit attack. In what state, we will tell you in the course of this program. And now, PDP's candidate Oluyole confident of victory. NNPCL probe. Oluyole ex-CFO clash over unaccounted 210 trillion naira. Unaccounted. There was a saga before that. It was found out by the EFCC and the ICPC, and at the end of the day, I think about 1 or 2 weeks after, they said Nigerians should just look at the other side. They should just leave that aside. Well, and we are in a country that is trying to eradicate or flush out corruption. And well, the health sector is there, underfunded. The education sector is there, underfunded. The civil service, underfunded. And some amounts of money are missing. They will just fly across the river, over the desert to another country. Or maybe one animal will just come and swallow the money. And 210 trillion is unaccounted for. Nigerians' money unaccounted for. Very unfortunate. Adeleke, that is the Osun State Governor, Adeleke on hot as stage collapses during Osun Accord rally in Ijesha North. Well, that is rather interesting. Police debunk rumored terrorist movement into Ogbomoso axis, says surveillance beefed up around Old National Park. And fatalities in Warri Itakpe train accident rise to 5, says federal government. The problem of Nigeria is about maintenance. We don't really have that maintenance culture. Well, when these rail lines were constructed, when new trains were brought in, I don't think that there were really much of maintenance to check up on all these rail lines. In the past, I remember, and I'm sure Big Daddy will remember, when the old trains, the locomotives were there. Yes, you will see some people, they will be riding a kind of a small, like a small truck, riding through the rail lines, trying to check yes, which ones, maybe one knot or two, or maybe it's no more there. You just put up an infrastructure, you start operations, and no maintenance again, and we say these accidents will occur. They will definitely occur. Now, reps to vote on state police bill today. Yes, let them keep pushing it forward. I don't know the date when they will actually vote, and after the voting, now the implementation now will now give us another problem. Let's take this first break now. We'll be back.
It's choco time. Dano Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open, pour, and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Dano Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, taste it, love it. Dano Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
Conversation.
Well, the program is still Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 right here in the city of Ibadan. And of course, yes, Lola just came in with more stories here. And well, before he came, I was speaking about, I think I was speaking about the Kogi incident, yes. The terrorists that killed a vice principal and 2 others in Kogi. And well, at the Edo State government had shut schools. Well, the school closures had spread after the fresh bandit attack.
And this is exactly what I believe the sponsors of these evil men want to achieve. They want to schools to be shut down, and they want them to destroy education. Not just in northern Nigeria, all over the country. They want to destroy education, and they want to put an end to freedom of worship, I also believe.
Yes.
Because in recent times, even down here in the southwest, churches have been refraining from doing night vigils, and maybe aside Sunday services, churches have been very cautious about large gatherings of worshippers, and maybe these are some of the things their sponsors want to achieve for reasons best known to them. These sponsors, known and unknown, that are too big to be touched by the federal government. Many of them known to the government, but too big, untouchables. And as long as we continue to play the game this way, and that's what I always say, we are not going to get anywhere. And I keep insisting that this is a problem. It's about us, that we can solve ourselves if we are determined enough. If the authorities will look away from politics and do the needful, we do not need the Americans to solve the problem. Even if the Americans come to help us, the problem will still not be solved as long as we are not cooperating. As long as some people high up there still think that it is okay to be a criminal, and that crime does pay, and that crime is right, and that this is something they keep telling us with their body language, that this is something that has come to stay and that we have to live with. And talking about the Americans, but there's something here. It says over 200 ISIS fighters killed in Northeast, says U.S. Africa Command.
That is the AFRICOM.
Well, since it's coming from them, I can't believe it. If it's us, if we are the ones saying it, I'll take it with a pinch of salt. But then that's a good one. And yes, AFRICOM is taking the fight directly to them, and they are not inviting them for peace deals. They are not signing peace deals with them. So I wonder if the AFRICOM, the external forces that are also trying to protect their own interests by fighting terror in various parts of the world where they have their interest. if they are taking the fight to them, if they are not, if Africom is not inviting them on board an aircraft carrier, on board a naval warship to sign peace deals with them, I wonder why we are doing that, why we are busy doing that, and we think this is the only way we can solve the problem. I've seen a situation whereby we do follow the kinetic options as well, but we also see a situation whereby we believe that the option of trying to integrate them back into society and signing deals with them, that we place that as a priority, and it's not working. As I always say, Bimbo, it has never worked, and it's not working. If it's working, we won't have this escalation that we are having now. If that approach is working, we won't have that spread to other parts of the country, southwest Nigeria, where they are now, like I said, trying to destroy education. Trying to limit freedom of movement everywhere you go now. Even here, right here in Ibadan, you look over your shoulder.
Yes.
Everywhere you go, and even people who are doing business, they close shop very quickly. Oh,
yes.
We don't know what can happen next.
Yes, just watch your back.
You sleep with just one eye closed. Not just Ibadan, all over the country.
Yes, and like you said, education, trying to destroy education, trying to destroy worship and all those. That means, and in the name of Almighty Allah, the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they will always call the name before they slaughter people.
And like I said, those ones are criminals. It doesn't make them Muslims.
Now,
that doesn't make them Muslims.
Yes. The point I want to make is that, okay, they don't want Western education, but they know about phones. They know about computer systems. They know about all those gadgets. How did they get to know?
And they use them.
And precisely, yes, they use them.
They use motorbikes.
So how did they know about all those gadgets? And well,
at least they should be using camels and bow and arrows and bows and arrows for whatever they want to do.
Yes, and cudgels and all those. So, well, the story says here thus: almost a month after terrorists attacked 3 schools in Oyo State, abducting no fewer than 40 pupils alongside teachers, they again struck at Iluke Bunu in Kaba, Bunu local government area of Kogi State yesterday, killing a vice principal and 2 others, as well as kidnapping 3 students who were about to write WAEC examinations. That means the WAEC candidates are yes, maybe, I don't know, security should be provided. That's what I wanted to say. I'm sure they will not perform. WAEC results will be poor this year. I am so sure, because
they disrupted the conduct of WAEC examination,
and they will not concentrate. Those candidates will not concentrate. Yes, because they will just be watching their back almost every time. And the attack came on a day the Edo State government ordered immediate closure of 3 secondary schools in Akoko Edo local government area following intelligence reports of a planned kidnap attack targeting students. And this pandemonium, yes, this is even as there was pandemonium in Minna, the Niger State capital, yesterday, as parents stormed schools to withdraw their children amid rumors of terrorist invasion of the city. In Lagos, there was also panic in schools located in Ojokoro area of the city, following what turned out to be a prank over alleged kidnapping of students and teachers, prompting parents to besiege the schools to withdraw their children. Ola, this is getting too far. This is getting too far. Yes.
Well, thankfully, in the Kogi incident, it was intended to be another case of mass abduction, but thankfully,
it was repelled.
It was repelled, and the students were rescued. Unfortunately, the vice principal, Mr. Anifo Woshe, and 2 other persons, 70-year-old Mr. Sunday Jacob Hassan and 6-year-old Sunday Ayeli, were killed by the bandits. And from what I'm reading here, it's not a matter of stray bullets. They deliberately pointed their gun at that 6-year-old boy. What kind of human beings are these, Bimbo? And yet some people think we should be sitting down and signing peace deals with animals, with wild animals who are in the garb of humans. Sometimes I do wonder, Bimbo. I'm talking about the religion of these people, and when some people say that they mentioned the name of Almighty Allah, they mentioned the name of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Now let's look at it this way: we have pastors in Christendom, who have been involved in heinous activities, ritual killings and murders. And when we hear these stories, the first thing we say is that I know you're a pastor, this one cannot be a pastor. So why do we now insist that these ones, because they mention the name of Almighty Allah, that they have to be Muslims? These are not Muslims, these are criminals, and it's very, very clear to everyone. Pick up a copy of the Holy Quran and see what the Quran says about their activities. Even kidnapping, Islam is very clear on kidnapping. What the Holy Book says, according to what a cleric went online to speak about this matter. Well, what he said is that if you are compelled to kidnap someone because you are aggrieved, maybe you have a genuine agitation and you want to draw attention to that agitation and you kidnap someone, fine. He said at the end of it all, there is a punishment for it, even if you are able to justify your action. He said the punishment is that you should go into exile permanently from that community. And he says the equivalent for that in modern times is life imprisonment. So that is the equivalent for that. And then he says that kidnapping for ransom, he mentioned the penalties that are there in the Islamic faith. So these ones, like I said, they are just criminals, people that are just breaking the law, and of course they hide under the garb of religion. I think it's high time, Bimbo, the Nigerian Governors Forum, well, let's say the Southern governors, it's time they come together to prevent this thing from spreading. And at the larger level, broader level of Nigerian Governors Forum, time to set politics aside. The northern governors especially should be called to order. They are the ones that subtly continue to support these things by their actions and inactions in that part of the country. They are the ones that insist that they must dialogue, that they must sign peace deals with criminals, because these criminals, they believe, most of them believe that they are of their ethnic nationality, and therefore that sentiment overrides the overall interest of the people who are being killed massively on a very large scale. So I wonder if they even connect with their communities at all to see if they are actually happy with the way they've been handling these things. So I think the northern governors especially must be called to order. We don't just blame the federal government alone when the governors themselves are clogs in the wheel of progress.
You mentioned that the southern governors, southwest governors should know that it is time for them to come together and try. They should have known all that all this while.
You should have seen this coming.
Yes, coming all this while. But well, they have not. Well, maybe they turned the other side because of their own political achievements, what they want to get in 2027. 2026 is not yet over. But well, this is what we hear now. This is what we are hearing, and this is disturbing people. Well, we are talking about proactive measures. Campaigns are going on, nothing is being done. And when anything drastic happens in any state, at least surrounding your state, well, we'll now be shouting help, help.
And even in Ondo, Bimbo, as we speak, well, a lot of people have forgotten about the situation in Ondo State. And while we are talking about the situation in Oluyole, I think they have spent maybe 25 days in or 26 or
27 days now
in captivity now. Now, in the Ondo incident, the one that happened at Ilejebeji, and a church was raided during night vigil, and the pastor that was preaching at the time, leading prayers at the time, was murdered in cold blood, and the captives were taken into the bush. And the story was that after paying 10.5 million they initially asked for, they murdered the wife of the presiding pastor, and those people are still in captivity, 38 days in captivity. And I was listening to a program on a private radio station yesterday where the presenter, one of those human angle programs, and the presenter was drawing attention to it and warning that everyone is beginning to forget these people that are in the bush, women and children mostly, that were herded away by these abductors. And he said that it looks as if everyone is carrying on, as if nothing has happened. What I read in his tone was the fact that he was trying to indirectly tell us that we seem to be getting used to these things. that we seem to be seeing it as a new normal, and as long as it's not us, as long as we are not the ones involved, that okay, we are seeing it as a new normal, and the best you can do is to just be careful that we are not the victim. So 38 days, and it struck me like a bolt to Bimbo when I also remember that those ones too have been there for 38 days. And then the Oyo people, the ones
they are still there,
and they are also still there.
Yes, and I raised the concern, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, that is it not that these people, these abductees in Oluyole, are subtly being forgotten? You know, I don't understand what is happening. If the military, maybe with in connivance with some youths in Borno, Plateau and Kaduna, if they can, you know, storm the mountainous areas in these areas to, you know, to rescue about 360 something victims of kidnap.
Bimbo, they didn't storm anything, Bimbo, but they paid ransom.
And they might pay ransom.
And they're giving us a different narrative.
Well, that is the scenario that you know, that came up.
That's what they want us to believe. But then from the accounts of them, the abductees themselves, they said they saw Ghana must go.
Yes, they said they saw Ghana must go back.
And they said there was nothing like anyone storming the place.
So that means they were just
they said they are not aware that anyone stormed
any place.
So what we are getting at here, Bimbo, is that we hope that Ilejemeje and Orire and those two scenarios do not turn to another Chibok. Don't do another Chibok. We pray that doesn't happen, because it's beginning to look very much like it. And then, okay, we have this one: troops repel attacks in Zamfara, kill terrorists, and so troops of the Nigerian Army under 1 Brigade Quick Response Force (QRF) in collaboration with troops of Combat Team 1 Forward Operating Base FOB Kanoma have repelled the terrorist attack in Kanoma district of Maru local government area of Zamfara state. And then the report disclosed that the troops responded to the attack, an attempted attack at about 11 a.m. on Tuesday, moving to the scene and making contact with terrorists at Kanoma EO. It stated that during the gun draw, the troops engaged the assailants with superior firepower, forcing them to retreat from the area. So in the case of Zamfara, you know why I read this story? Now, the former authorities in Zamfara state, for ex-governor Matawali, was very much in favor of signing peace deals and giving the terrorists what they want, to make them promise to stop being bad. Of course, it didn't work, and too late at the twilight of his administration, he came to realize that now a new sheriff is in town. So if we continue saying that, okay, the governors are not in charge of the security agencies, and they're just as much as they can do, it also very much depends on the body language of the governor. If a governor insists that I'm not going to have any of this, and that is what the current governors of Zamfara state has done. Yes. Of course, I'm sure the federal authorities too would eventually begin to dance to his tune. But when even the governor himself is not interested in getting rid of criminals on the soil of the state, so what do you expect? And in Edo State, okay, I think we took that earlier. 3 schools have been shot in Akoko Edo over security concerns, and so it spreads.
Yes, it spreads. And now in Kaduna State again, now Army officers, 6 soldiers killed in Kaduna ambush. Military confirms attack, neutralizes 24 terrorists, rescues 194 kidnapped victims. Quickly, a Nigerian Army officer and 6 soldiers were killed Monday evening after troops came under a deadly ambush by suspected terrorists during a patrol operation in the Riga Chikun area of Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. The attack occurred amid intensified military operations that have, in recent weeks, significantly degraded the operational capabilities of armed groups operating within the Kaduna-Zaria corridor and surrounding communities. And senior military sources yesterday confirmed the attack, noting that following the follow-up deployment to the axis to track and clear the perpetrators is ongoing. And this is just as authorities of 1 Division Nigerian Army Kaduna disclosed that troops neutralized 24 bandits and terrorists and rescued 194 kidnapped victims in Kaduna and adjoining areas in the first quarter of this year. Yes, that just giving us the achievements in the first quarter of the year. But the army officer and 6 soldiers that were killed in an ambush, rather unfortunate.
Alright, we also have this one. Reps to vote on state police bill today. And I'm going to page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. The leadership of the 10th House of Representatives has reiterated members' readiness to pass the state police bill during today's plenary in a bid to tackle insecurity in the country. Deputy Speaker Honorable Benjamin Kalu, who disclosed this during a press briefing in Abuja after plenary, urged all members to be physically present. Now, Kalu spoke to on behalf of the 37 House caucus leaders, said the passage of state police bill became imperative to stem growing cases of banditry and terrorism in Nigeria. People, something came to mind yesterday when I was thinking about the general state insecurity and the general state of the nation. Now, assuming, especially, and this goes to the critics of the Tinubu administration, especially the opposition, the articles, the OBs, and all others. So, assuming the way they are strongly, the politicians now, strongly criticizing the Tinubu administration, especially the opposition, accusing the president of ineptitude, his government of ineptitude, and them not doing much to solve the problem and being more interested in politics than solving the problem. So assuming the federal government now decides that, okay, maybe through the National Assembly, let us have this decision that because of the general state of insecurity in the country, let us postpone elections for now. And let us focus on ending terrorism and banditry. Maybe topmost give it a year. And then with a robust promise that this will end. What do you think will happen, Bimbo? All hell will be let loose.
Yes.
The same politicians that are saying that they have the interest of the ordinary Nigerian at heart and they want this problem solved, they will cry blue mother. There's nothing they will not say, and then they will go to court. There will be litigations that, oh, the man doesn't want to leave. The man deliberately orchestrated this thing because he wants to sit tight and all that. You now be wondering, are they not the same people? I'm just thinking aloud here. I'm not saying that is what should happen. I'm not suggesting that, but just me thinking aloud.
Just your own.
Assuming that, okay, let us focus on this
insecurity problem
to one lady. You can imagine also, so you'll not be wondering that you're wanting to be in public office. Is it about the interest of the people after all, or about your own selfish interest? So if it's about us not going into elections now so that we can solve this problem, so you will not, but then like I said, I'm not suggesting that, but I'm just thinking.
But I know you also know that it will not work. Not that it cannot, it will.
They will stand against it.
So well, I have this story here. Moving here. I told you, have you seen maybe in the films, those American films and all those when airplanes land on the roads, highways? Yes, it happened here in Nigeria. Yes, the NCAA, that is the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, they grounded a plane that landed on an highway, and that's
thank God it was a desolate highway.
Yes, desolate highway. Now the NCA said the private jet, which had 4 crew members on board, subsequently departed the location at 11:02 a.m. and returned to Lagos without obtaining the requisite regulatory approval. That's according to the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection at the NCA, Michael Achimogu. And Achimogu disclosed that the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau had been formally notified of the incident. Yes, and they gave all those reasons, all the mistakes that the airline made. And available information indicates that the aircraft conducted a missed approach at 7:43 local time while attempting to land at Asaba. Subsequently, the aircraft reportedly landed on a roadway in the Ogwashi Uku area near Asaba and reports received from personnel at the scene indicates that all occupants safely exited the aircraft and were transported to Asaba by road.
So, okay, so the pilot, from what you read, the pilot thought the highway was the runway.
I should think so.
The airport runway. Because I was thinking that we wouldn't just land like that. Something must have happened.
Yes.
Either the plane was distressed and there was no other place. But since it's near the Asaba airport, they said maybe it was an error.
An error, yes.
And or maybe something happened. Maybe the plane was distressed and the only option available to was to land on that highway. But like I said, thank God that was a desolate highway. And if it's a case of the aircraft being distressed, so what would they have him do? They would have him land on someone's roof.
Yes.
So that was the best option in the circumstances.
Yes,
details are not very clear yet, but then
I can see the picture speak. I can see houses, around the road, the highway, and this action, according to the NCA, constitutes a violation of the Nigeria Civil Aviation regulations and is currently under investigation by the authority. And the flight crew have been placed under regulatory review while the NCA conducts further inquiries into the circumstances surrounding the occurrence and the subsequent unauthorized departure of the aircraft.
Of course, there must be inquiries and investigations, and the unauthorized departure. Well, they don't expect him to stay there forever now.
Yes.
And okay, still talking about accidents and the avoidance of casualties. Governor Adeleke in Osun State.
Yes.
Is Adeleke on hot as stage collapses during Osun Accord rally in Ijesha North. I know what first came to my mind, but when I saw this, and I know that was come to your mind too.
Yes.
The governor's physical size.
Yes.
And him collapsing. So initially I was worried, but when I initially heard the story, until I saw this thing that it was on hot. Well, thank God, because somebody of that size and on a collapse stage. Well, it says pandemonium broke out on Wednesday at the Osun State Accord campaign rally in Ijesha North Federal Constituency after a poorly erected podium. Well, maybe Governor Adeleke Sweet added to the problem.
Because that means the podium was not properly constructed.
It could have been properly constructed, but if there were many people of Governor Adeleke's size on that podium, or maybe it was a size maybe that added to the plenty of weight on the podium, or maybe it was too, maybe him as an individual was too heavy, maybe it was the one that caused it because of his weight. While Governor Adeleke was addressing supporters, the wooden structure gave way suddenly, sending the governor, party officials and other dignitaries on the stage crashing. And party members who had gathered to listen to the governor's address scrambled over broken planks amid screams and confusion. He didn't say the governor screamed, but the collapsed podium left shoes, caps, and cameras trapped in the wreckage. And I'm sure thieves would also have a few.
Yes, of course.
But of course, as for the governor, I'm sure the security operatives must have lived up to their job. It is time for them to end their pay. And so, well, we can joke and laugh over this because the governor is on hot. And then, well, I would say congratulations to him and others too. Thank God there was no casualty.
No casualty, yes. And yes, this one is coming from a returnee from Libya. There's a 23-year-old female Libya returnee, that is Endurance Daniel. She recounted how she and other migrants drank their urine to survive due to lack of water in the desert.
Well, it was desperation to get away, anything but here for those people to get away from the problems in this country. Well, I know many people will say Akila or no Wakili, but honestly, I don't blame them.
Yes, you don't blame them.
Is it if they stay here, no poverty, banditry, terrorism, and everything? That's what they were trying to flee from. And on NNPCL probe, Oluyole ex-CFO clashed over unaccounted 210 trillion naira, and Senate wants Kyari arrested. The money they told us to forget about.
That is the NNPCL. Yes, I said it earlier that they said we forget about it. The health sector is in limbo. Education sector, zero. The economy, nothing can be talked about. Some other sectors, and they say we should just look away from a missing 210 trillion naira.
Wow. Police debunk rumored terrorist movement into Ogbomosho axis. Say surveillance beefed up around Oluyole National Park, and that's coming from the Oyo State Police Command. It's not true that like Kurawa or whatever terrorists have taken over the park, and the police are debunking that narrative now. And the Senate moves to increase appeal court justices to 110. That's as federal high court judges have been increased to 90. And Obi questions rising debt under President Tinubu despite surge in government revenue.
And well, before the phone lines now start coming in, Nigeria has 209,000 megawatts, $11 billion solar power project. That is according to a report.
We read all that before.
Yes, to the phone line 08055009850 or 07055551985. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
God bless you, my brothers. I can be advisor from you.
Good to have you, sir.
We don't need to deceive ourselves any longer. Terrorists are gaining upper hand by the day, steadily achieving their aim. The third book is Aram. So, first in the north, now in the south, they are making steady progress every day. And people like us, whenever we are asking President Tinubu to step down, to resign, are we not justified? I think there should be a forum where you will be seated and people sitting around him to ask him to point to an achievement 3 years ago, educationally, security-wise, economically, socially. He met us at a very fine point than this. Yoruba will say, Osabo Badimi, Osenibo Sebami. This Tinubu government, I'm very, very sorry to say it. Oh, it's creating much to the problem. It's not capable. The administration should cover its face with 2 hands and bow out disgracefully. Oh, good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Akombi Adebayo. But well, you have said that your suggestion that President Tinubu should step down, but you have not told us what the alternative should be. That what next after the president, after Mr. President and his government and his cabinet step down. You've not told us. You've not offered us the alternative.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Papa, you really did a good job. It seems we are ready to face our reality the way we talk this one. Now, let me give you some facts about these Islamic extremists that are getting rampage. I mean, every corner of this country. The problem started in 1989, November 28th.
Okay.
The meeting was held in Abuja by 3 bodies: the Islamic Council of London, Organization of Islamic Conference, and Islam in Africa Organization. 3 of them, they make a lot of resolutions. But let me tell you the one that is relevant to the topic you are treating this morning. One of them says, one of the resolutions in that meeting says, to eradicate in all its forms and ramifications all non-Muslim religion in member nations. Such religion shall include Christianity, Ahmadiyya, and other tribal modes of worship unacceptable to Muslims. Now, let me read another relevant one. It says, to ensure the declaration of Nigeria the 24th and world member of the OIC, Federal Islamic Sultanate, that is the Sultan of Sokoto, a convention on any day from 28th March 1990, with the Sultan of Sokoto enthroned the Sultan and Supreme Sovereign of Nigeria. You can see those lands. So then in that year, hello?
Please go on. We are with you.
Okay, in that particular year, that 28th November of 1989 meeting, the government of Babangida as at then, he funded that meeting. He said the foundation of the planned Islamization of Nigeria was taken in 1989 in Abuja by OIC. Since then, they have not looked back. Our government gave them a contribution of $21 billion then in 1989. Then what are we talking about? We are now asking why is Boko Haram and all these people getting their money. Then apart from this money that was donated to them by Babangida government, all these subsidy loot that have been getting since all this year, you know, it's a freebie, it's a free money. All those monies are using for all this criminality, and that's the reason military should be arrested, and all the 22 trillion he has stolen should be withdrawn from him.
Yes, thank you very much.
We want this country to have something meaningful to do.
Thank you very much. You have made your point. Yes, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Well, I'm not sure about the authenticity of what you just said regarding the plan by three Islamic organizations in 1989 and openly declared that they wanted to Islamize Nigeria. What I do know, when Nigeria joined or an attempt to join the Organization of Islamic Conference, so right now we're a member nation of the OIC. I do know about that, and that generated a lot of furor, a lot of controversy at that time. But I'm not very sure about that one where you said that three Islamic organizations came out openly and said they wanted to Islamize Nigeria. Let's have this quick commercial break and we'll be back.
Wake up. It's Choco time. Donald Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open the door and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Donald Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, taste it, love it. Donald Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
Yes, the program is still Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 in Ibadan. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Ojo Michael.
Yes, sir, Ojo Michael, calling from Olomi Kingdom.
Good to have you, sir.
Yes, Mr. Sola Terrible, I'm going to be actually said about that's not what I want to speak about. I want to just speak about the last speaker, what he said. It might be true in a certain, but nobody, let me just use that word, we can Islamize Nigeria. Nobody. So let's put that one aside. Yes, these people, they are criminals. They are not Muslims. As far as I can see totally, they are not Muslims. They are just criminals. They just messing that name. They don't know what they are seeing. So the only way, the way I want to say that, how are we going to get out of this wood? That is it. Nigeria is betting. Just look at the way that we will come out of this. Even when there was like last year, I called you from my own time. Now, presently, it seems that in Osun State, schools are under lock and key. The same thing, public schools in Osun State under lock and key. Churches, I don't want to mention it. So even we cannot even start Fiji any longer. I did not winning, but where are we going to come out? That is what we're supposed to work on. God bless you, my brother. Happy Nigeria.
Yes, thank you very much.
I know, Bimbo. When these things happen, it's not every time that we must believe the narratives of those who are trying to introduce the religious angle to things. Remember, a lot of things you have said. They said part of what the Orire abductors wanted was the implementation of Sharia in Southwest, only for the abductors themselves to come out and say that they never said that, that they never demanded that. Even the Muslim community, which they said was aiding them, they said that they are not part of that and that they never supported any such move. So what are we talking about?
Where did government get that information that
there are mischievous and powerful elements that are trying to escalate things. That is exactly what is happening, and maybe that is that was the situation way back in 1989 as well. I want to believe. Like I said, I cannot confirm what our early esteemed caller said. I can neither confirm nor deny, but let's just do another caller.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Please go
Good
ahead.
morning.
Good morning. Okay.
Your name and where you are calling from.
Segun.
Okay, from
Segun. Well, concerning all this Islamization of Nigeria, don't let us deny anything. The man that come for a woman is a two now about to Islamize Nigeria. Let us take the back. We are about to Islamize Nigeria, and also to make Nigeria to be the Fulani state. Let us take the fact. Let us think that it's not true, because it's true. Obviously, that meeting of the OIC, it's true. So I think that time, like when the children Nigeria found the leader of Nigeria, maybe they know that these are the rules, that these are the times, and these are the strategies, that are what we want to do. That's why that will get back to the leaders of Nigeria. So please, don't get what you are saying. Now, that is the threat to Nigeria. All our governors, the southern state governors, they are afraid because they want to get to power at all costs. They now allow these people to come to hide in the southwest. Because they know that the number has worked to support them. There was a time, but when the first time of our governor, people are now complaining that you have the tourists in the notice. He said he didn't think that because he wants the matter to support him. So let us deceive ourselves. I'm telling the truth. Because what deceive ourselves, they have perfected their plan.
All right, thank you. I guess you've made your point. But the truth is that if we continue to hold on to this narrative of ethnic and religious intent on the part of the terrorists, and we continue to think along ethnic and religious lines, we will never win this war until we come together and realize that we have a common enemy. If we continue to think along this line, we are allowing evil to triumph, and we are allowing evil to have its way. We'll be doing exactly what they want us to do, set upon ourselves along religious and ethnic lines. These people also kill Muslims. If it's about Islamization of Nigeria, the only abductors, why haven't they freed the Muslims among them? I don't want to believe that they are all Christians that they abducted. Why haven't they freed the Muslim children among them? Why haven't they freed the Muslim teachers among them? These are the questions we should be asking ourselves. We have a common enemy, and those are the enemies of this country, and they cut across religion and ethnic divides. We must realize this. Let's stop thinking along this religious and ethnic and Fulanization or Islamization or whatever, because Muslims are also victims of these people we are talking about. All right, take your time. It's 7:30 and we have to go. And we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your day.
Conversation. 98.5 Oluyole FM.
Yes, good morning, sports fans. It's Thursday morning, well, a rather cool morning right here from the big brown roof city of Ibadan. We bring you your breakfast sports show on radio, and of course, always a pleasure to have you join us. Always a pleasure to serve you the latest in the world of sport. My name is Toby Ajoli, your host on the program this morning. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube, Oluyole 98.5 FM. Here's the channel name where you can watch us and listen to us